What is the best animated movie and why? The Great Mouse Detective is pretty fucking clever. Apparently, I watched this movie so much as a child that the rest of my family absolutely hates it. Whoops, not sure if anyone's said this, but The Last Unicorn. Everything from the animation to the characters is stellar. And I don't think I've ever watched an animated movie that's made me feel the same way as The Last Unicorn does. Your name is a golden bell hung in my heart. I would break my body to pieces to call you once by your name. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. For me, the intricacy of Miyazaki's worlds is always fascinating, and I just love Nausicaa herself so much, as well as the tightly constructed plot, the majesty of the Omu. Such a great movie. If you want to be blown away even further, read the manga. Nausicaa the movie only covers about 1/4 of the full plot. The complete story of Nausicaa is one of the most fascinating stories I can remember reading. It at times was uncompromisingly sad. A world teeming with life and death where holy men and warlord walked side by side into doom and magic and incomprehensible mystique. I honestly cannot remember many happy moments in it. But I can always remember Nausicaa, who has a composure about her throughout the story that is so seemingly enlightened. I don't think it even once made me feel happy, but I still somehow felt so full of hope reading it. Watching the end of a world and the one girl there to make it just a bit more gentle to its inhabitants. It is a true culmination of Miyazaki's focus on the themes of our ailing planet's environment. Just thinking about it makes me have to read it again. It was beautiful and melancholy and dumbfounding and enlightening, and the movie captured but a fraction of the true scope of this work of art. Loving Vincent is the first full-length film where every frame is an oil painting. It's about a guy who goes to the town in southern France where Vincent van Gogh was living and tries to figure out how he died. Amazing movie all around. I'm pretty sure that counts as animation. A silent voice from Kyoto Animation. The way they show what it means to have friends and how Dark Shoya touched me in a movie ever had. Isn't Kyoto Animations the studio that was burnt down by an arson? Yes, and murdered employees. Perfect Blue, because it actually pushes you to observe and has an after effect. Great art too. I love Paprika too. All the Satoshi Kon movie. RIP. Paprika is excellent. Watched that and Millennium Actress pretty much back to back and it blew me away. Highly recommend Paranoia Agent as it's great as a whole but has a couple of amazing standout episodes. Asterisk Fantastic Miss Fox asterisk I fucking love the animation style and humor in this movie. It also stays true to the book story while putting a fresh spin on it. Bogus, Bunsen Bean, one fat, one short, one lean. These horrible crooks, so different in looks, were nonetheless equally mean. I'd say the original Ghost in the Shell. Storytelling, incredibly artistic hand-drawn scenes, music that I can recall to this day. It was pretty groundbreaking artistically and ideologically for 1995. Definitely my favorite one. Artistic, philosophical, well-planned, lots of obvious and hidden meaning in every frame and every sequence, and smart storytelling. The Land Before Time. At 37 years old, I'm still emotionally fucked up from this movie and The Brave Little Toaster. Your Name is a fantastic piece of art, visually breathtaking. Song of the Sea is another gorgeous animated piece. Purely magical story rooted in Irish mythology. The art style is a little different and beautiful, and the sound design is also fantastic. The Breadwinner is another example of beautiful storytelling filled with empathic characters and realism, telling a difficult story through the eyes of a child. All three of these are kind of mood movies, for me, for when I want to feel extra emotional. Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, and The Breadwinner are amazing movies that needs more attention from people. The Secret of NIMH. Stunning visuals, amazing score, great voice acting, and a story that's a lot more interesting than the book it's based on. Pretty much any of Don Bluth's early movies really. All Dogs Go to Heaven was always my favorite just because how batshit crazy it was. Don Bluth's animation was awesome. Loved pretty much all he had done. Secret of NIMH, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Thumbelina, Anastasia, Pebble and the Penguin. It's a shame in his studio didn't take off. How has nobody said The Road to El Dorado yet? That movie ticked every box. Star, can't do, not today. Guys, you're broke, you got nothing to bet with. Treasure. This movie is awesome. One of the best films Musker Clements ever directed. Such a shame that it flopped. The sad part is IIRC, I think they had been begging to make that movie forever, and their boss was like, you can make it, but do this one first. Rinse and repeat that a few times, and finally they got to make their passion project. And then it flopped. Sad face. I think some argue it was because of marketing, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'll see if I can find the source that explains all this. It was a fascinating video and I'd love to share it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Triplets of Belleville. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and go watch it. How the fuck is this not higher up? The Illusionist is also a masterpiece. That dude is a force of nature. My all-time favorite animated movie is Laputa, Castle in the Sky by Studio Ghibli. The characters, the world building, the plot, the animation, and the score are all phenomenal. Since having kids we steadily rotate through that one along with Nausicaa, Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro and Spirited Away. All of them are amazing for those same reasons. I never get tired of them, seen them hundreds of times each by now. The music and scenery are amazing. Also my favorite aspect is how they all feature strong capable female lead characters. Pixar barely ever does that. No one mentions Princess Mononoke. That was a pretty big deal. Too heavy for young kids I guess. Definitely The Road to El Dorado. Visually beautiful, music by Elton John, funny. I could rewatch that movie so many times. Coming-of-age tale that revolves around personal ownership of actions, difficult choices, sacrifice and growth. A must-see for anyone ages 12 and I would say that there is no best, as a lot of entries on this list are must-see. Anything Ghibli really, but you should screen some of it if you're going to show it to children. Is a great watch for children as young as 7, but I wouldn't recommend to anyone younger than 13. Also is a great watch for anyone older than 13 to 14. I have many more to recommend, but those 3 are a good list for now. I agree with your choices but think you're being rather conservative with the ages there. Children much younger than 12 or 7 can get a lot out of Spirited Away and Totoro. The latter, in particular, seems to enthrall young children like nothing else. Anastasia, the music provides a nice touch. Have you heard, there's a rumor in St. Petersburg, Princess Mononoke, anyone? The theme plus Journey to the West are 2 of the most beautiful anime OSTs. Grave of the Fireflies. Never would have thought that an animated movie could make me cry like a little bitch. This is the kind of movie you watch once. I was expecting it to be like Spirited Away. Spoiler alert, it was not, and I sobbed for like a half hour afterward. What a punch in the gut. An important story to tell, but ugh, I don't even want to think about it. I've watched this like 7 times, 15 minutes in I'm already sobbing because I know what happens. 7 times over the span of 20 plus years, not consecutively. When you need a good cry, this is a good one to watch. Monster, put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. She's out of our Haraya, Ponyo. It's a lot of little things, funny, sweet and sometimes a little scary. But it somehow manages to be both calming and engaging. Also, Mask of the Phantasm, because Batman was checking to make sure someone mentioned this. Has no one said Kubo and the 2 Strings yet? Beautiful stop-motion film from Laika, who created Coraline, Paranorman, etc. Not even addressing the brilliant story, themes and music in Kubo. The animation alone is just incredible. The skeleton model was 16 feet tall, and they created new techniques for things that had never been put to stop motion before, such as huge rolling waves in the ocean. Some of the faces were 3D printed even. It's honestly one of the most elegantly told stories I've ever seen put to screen, and it's combined with the best stop-motion animation I've ever seen. It's incredible. Please, next time Leica produces a film, go see it. They're independent, and each one of their films has brought in less and less despite the quality going up and up. Kubo only barely brought in 78 mil against a 60 mil budget. Their most recent film, Missing Link, didn't even make back a quarter of its budget. Stop motion as a medium is really rare already, and to have it be done so well is utterly unheard of. I would hate to see Leica go down like this. Leica is my magic for the 2010s. Coraline to Paranorman, Kubo and their latest film, which I remember constantly searching up for news on it for any clues as to what it is. Disney's Robin Hood, Ratatouille, Fight Me, can't believe I had to scroll so much for this. The sound of the bread crackling and Ego's review of Gusto's get to me every damn time. And its transcript and GT, in many ways, the work of a critic is easy. We risk very little yet enjoy a position over those who offer up their work and themselves to our judgment. We thrive on negative criticism, which is fun to write and to read. But the bitter truth we critics must face is that, in the grand scheme of things, the average piece of junk is more meaningful than our criticism designating it so. But there are times when a critic truly risks something, and that is in the discovery and defense of the new. Last night, I experienced something new, an extraordinary meal from a singularly unexpected source. To say that both the meal and its maker have challenged my preconceptions is a gross understatement. They have rocked me to my core. In the past, I have made no secret of my disdain for Chef Gusto's famous motto, "Anyone can cook." But I realize that only now do I truly understand what he meant. Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere. It is difficult to imagine more humble origins than those of the genius now cooking at Gusto's.